Hey friends, Bruce here with Cross Country 3. This is the Sentinel broadcast. In a world that is both in a personal and a national identity crisis, it's certainly important for today's man to know how to conduct himself. If he's going to exhibit the kind of fortitude that he should, if he's going to have a relentless pursuit of resilience in a world that desperately needs him, in an ever-changing environment, he has to know who he is. He has to know how to carry himself. And contrary to popular belief, it really is important that today's man in today's generation knows how to carry himself. How a gentleman carries himself today, well, let's talk about that. Number one, he's never in a rush. And the reason is because he's not frantic. He's not anxious. Instead, he maintains self-control. Calm is where his heart is. Calm is also where his home is. And then secondly, he has to maintain high standards. And this indeed can put some people off, but it's a non-negotiable. The margin for error is too small. So discipline is his lifestyle. And it starts the moment that he wakes up in the morning, every morning. He does not allow others to dictate his day, his agenda. Definitely not his attitude. Third, he really respects structure in his life, and he hopes it for others as well. So for him, timeliness is essential. His regimen includes taking care of his mind, his body, and his soul. That's important to him, and it's important to him that others have the same. And he wants to help them in that area. Structure helps frame his own life, but it serves as a protection for others. And he realizes this, and because the safety of others, especially those that he values, those that he loves, are really important to him, he will not allow unnecessary drama or pettiness or gossip to ruin that structure. So structure is really important. And then he likes to leave a good impression. In other words, he has a certain sense of charm. He's serious, and yet he can laugh at himself. He's okay with that. He respects others. And so style is important to him. He conducts himself in a manner that doesn't seek attention. So this means he's probably a man of few words. He will speak, of course, when he has something to say, but not because he feels like he just has to say something. That's not his kind of life or style. He certainly enjoys laughter. That's important. But he's not giddy. He knows that laughter is a great medicine for the soul, and he wants others to embrace that happiness and joy. So he embraces joyful laughter. He likes to hear others laugh. He wants them to feel protected and happy. But again, he's just not giddy. He respects others. And as such, he will sacrifice for the building up of others. And yet he must maintain some boundaries. He doesn't, for example, sit at a table where disrespect is consistently served. He doesn't tolerate disrespect handed out to others or himself. And yet he will show a generous and gracious respect for others, which means this: he learns from his own mistakes. He knows that if ego gets in the way of him relating well to others, that he needs to change course, because he delights in building others up, not burdening them with his own flaws. And he realizes he's a flawed individual. So in other words, he's a teachable man. He realizes he doesn't know everything, and he's not always right. So while today's gentleman is certainly secure in who he is, and he is also aware enough to know that God gives grace to the humble and not the proud. And so what he does is he acts accordingly. He's a man of conviction. but that's balanced strongly with having a heart of compassion. One other thing, today's gentleman really needs to count the opportunity to be a gentleman as one of privilege, not a pain. This is a challenging world in which a gentleman lives. And so he counts it a privilege to be the kind of man God's called him to be and is equipping to be for such a time as this. So it's important how a man conducts himself to be a gentleman in today's world that desperately needs good, strong, convictional, and yet compassionate gentlemen. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Godspeed.